Hey, 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 I'm back. I'm so excited. It's another Dear Journal. We're going to be starting soon. Yay! Your favorite thing to do, of course, right? Of course. Why not talk about feelings and how we can improve? Obviously. So, welcome. Let's get started. Hello, hello, hello. My name is Natasha Nurse. I'm the founder of Dressing Roommate, a coaching platform designed really to focus people's attention, primarily women, on the idea of how do I have purpose, how do I have joy, how do I have fulfillment in my personal life and in my professional life. And specifically today, for today's topic of Dear Journal that we're going to do, how to change your stinking thinking. And I chose that because I was listening to what's her name? I think it's Sarah Jakes Rob or Sarah. She's a famous evangelist, and I just adore her. And she was talking about like stinking thinking, and I just was like, you know what, I want to talk about stinking thinking because I too have had to deal with my own stinking thinking, my clients as a coach, their stinking thinking, and then of course the myriad of negative people in my family stinking thinking. So with that, I was like, we got to do this. Oh my goodness. Hey Trinette, nice to see you. Thanks for joining on Facebook. Yes, guys, here I'm on Facebook, I'm on YouTube, I'm on Periscope. Please holler at your girl, spread the word. Let's have a fun, interactive, engaging conversation because it's me, guys. We're going to do this. All right. So for those of you who don't know me, let me kind of get you up to speed. I do a lot of things. I come from a background primarily of education, so teaching, law. I'm an attorney. I also am an entrepreneur. I'm a coach. Particularly, I focus my coaching on career coaching, media coaching, and then also accountability coaching. So if any of those three things are attractive to you, at the end of this, definitely go to dressingroommate.com and sign up for a free strategy session to chat with moi. And then, of course, writing. Oh my goodness. Yes, I am everywhere, Trinette. I do a lot of writing. I write on my own blog. I've written in, oh goodness, like I can't even tell you, maybe like 15 different media outlets at this point. It's been a wonderful journey. Content creator, so you'll see videos like this. You'll also see TikTok videos that I do, or you'll see content that I create for other brands that I've worked with. And then of course, just like, just being here, just being a support system and just trying to be a good influence for others who are looking to change their lives, particularly their stinking thinking. So let's get into it. My life motto is to learn something new and meet someone new every single day. So I want you to learn something new from this conversation. If nothing is new to you, then put that in the comments and let me know, because anytime I create content, I teach this to others as well. People should be engaged, they should be happy, they should be excited, but they also need to learn, because if you're learning, that means you're thinking. And then if you're thinking, you actually can put into place some type of movement forward in your life or in your career. So definitely hope you learn from something, anything that I talk about today. Now, generally, why is it a problem to have stinking thinking? I mean, the words themselves, right? Stinking thinking, not particularly attractive, not particularly helpful, but specifically, I wanted to point out the following. So if you have stinking thinking, that means you're going to probably have negative experiences with others. And that might be something that you might not identify. You might always be the person who's like, I don't know what their problem is. I don't know what their problem is. I don't know what their problem is. Well, guess what? You're the common denominator in your life. So if you continue to have negative interactions with a lot of different people, you not only have to look at the behavior and actions of others, but like, what the heck are you doing? What are you doing? Because you're the common denominator. All right. Also, you're going to have a disconnect between expectations in your mind and outcomes. So if you have stinking thinking, then you are going to have a disconnect of what you're thinking is going to be happening versus what's actually going to happen. So maybe you might want a positive outcome, but because you have stinking thinking, it reverts and kind of creates that an initial vibe that you've been putting out there. So thinking about that, that's super upsetting. Next, disappointment with life decisions. If you have stinking thinking, you're most likely not in the best clarity or clear space in your mind. So you might make decisions that might not lend or land for you in the best way possible. And that's going to create disappointment and frustration within yourself and within the life that you're living. That's not fun either. And then, of course, missed personal and professional opportunities. When you have stinking thinking, do you think people are running down to knock down your door, to give you a job, to have you work with them in their business, to have you be a brand ambassador for something? No, like your energy and your vibes and how you show up in this world attracts opportunities for you. So when you continue to walk around as a negative naysayer person who always has something negative to say about someone else or something, that is going to not allow you to be considered for opportunities that you may want. If you're like, man, I need more money, well, stop being an ass, right? Like that would be helpful if you could find a way to change your stinking thinking. And that's what we're here to talk about. So there's that. Now, for me, thank you, Trinette. I love the love. Thank you. On Facebook, it's really good, guys. Come on. Comments, questions, put them in. When it comes to my own mindset, I have to keep it 100 with you guys, right? So for me, the biggest things that I had to realize with my own stinking thinking and we all have it, right? As human beings, negativity it's a survival method. So it's not like, oh, I can live my life without ever being negative. Probably not, but you can control it, right? And you can minimize and you can reduce. And that's really the journey that you need to get on, not the elimination per se. For certain things, yes, you absolutely can eliminate for certain things. But generally thinking, you can always kind of dip into that negative space. And so it's just up to you to kind of rise above that over and over and over again. For me, my changes I had to do were really refusing to let other people's negativity affect or dictate my own emotions or thoughts. Why do I say that? So I'm a Virgo, if you don't know. And as a Virgo, right, there's certain approaches that we can take in life. And when people say things or do things to us, it can have tremendous impact. Now, granted, Virgos tend to be very like prickly in nature, right? And so we can put off this front that like, we don't care, whatever, but like totally dying on the inside kind of a personality trait, right? And so and I have several people who can easily like, they say something and it feels like a blade is going right through my heart. I'm just like, why? So really acknowledging that like that person, whether they change or not change, I have to detach emotionally from what they're saying so that I do not continue to walk into circumstances where it's like, oh, you said this, oh, you're coming at me, oh, you're attacking me, and I'm just falling apart, right? That doesn't make any sense. We have to always have a standard of strength and a standard of resiliency for ourselves. And it's the same thing I would teach my coaching clients. And so it's the same practice and mechanisms I've had to develop for myself. So that's one. And then the second one, and this has been really, I think, most critical here as I've moved to Arizona. Me and my husband moved here to Arizona from New York over a year ago. And for me, it's been a really wild ride because I feel like I'm on this journey of like understanding me, myself, and I, and it's been fabulous, darling, fabulous. And I love it because every day I'm trying to identify new things that make me feel happy, that make me feel satisfied, that make me feel joyful and blessed. And that investment in time in understanding what I need to feel loved and celebrated and happy is the most valuable time I'll ever spend in my life, right? You can spend a lot of time producing and doing things, but if you're not working on the inside, the outside is going to continue to be a reflection of what's going on in here, guys. So you've got to find a way to get to know me, myself, and I, and you've got to feed her or him or whatever pronoun you use, and feed that person over and over and over and over again every single day. That's how your life expands, and that's how opportunities arise, because you're constantly feeding into you. That's what you need to do. All right. So now what do we do? So I think it comes down to, for changing your stinking thinking, 6 ways, 6 particular ways. And guys, you're going to be able to have this video recap as well as my Dear Journal notes themselves on the blog on dressingyourmate.com. So Monday, come check for it, dressingyourmate.com. You'll see the notes, you'll see the video. It'll be fantastic. And I can't wait to hear from you and see you on the blog there. First, honesty. A lot of negative people, specifically, I have someone in mind who refuses to see their own negativity, and it causes discord, especially in the relationship I have with that person. So you have to be honest, guys. I would just really encourage you to, when you're saying things and thinking things, and if you're the kind of person, for instance, who's like, I always just see how something can go wrong first, right? Like, is that necessarily the best approach to life? No, right? I understand pragmatism. I understand wanting to see all outcomes. I understand wanting to be prepared 100%. But to first attract and to go down a path of what could go wrong, what could fail, what are the errors, what are the issues, is a very negative oriented pathway. And there are better ways to see things. I always encourage seeing the positive first. And then, yes, if especially like in business planning, what are the benefits of what this action or what the ROI will be on this? Cool. But then also, what on the flip side, what are the risks? What are the challenges? What are the obstacles? 100%. I would never advise that when you look at life and the decisions you're making, that you don't think about both the duality of positive and negative. All I ask, for God's sake, God's sake, is to first go positive and then go negative, because it really sets the tone for your mind. It sets the tone for your life. It sets the tone for others. Literally, there are people that I speak to, hey, Crystal, on Facebook, I speak to in my life, that the first thing out of their mouth is something negative. And it is one of the most draining things I've ever had to deal with, ever. And I choose to deal with that, right? Because whatever you don't cut out and eliminate, that means you're choosing, like 100%. So know this, and I know this for myself. But I'm just saying, it's a drag on everyone around you and everything around you. So please do positive, see the positive. What's the benefit? How are you going to enjoy this before we identify the risks, the challenges, the obstacles? All right. So honesty. Second, eliminate obstacles. So I think recently I was watching something on social media where someone was like saying you can't heal from the same place where you were hurt or where the sickness arose, right? Which I thought, wow, that really resonated with me, because for a big part of why I moved from New York to Arizona was I really did feel like New York overwhelmingly had a lot of toxicity in my life, and it was overwhelming, and it was to the point where I also just was physically sick in a way that I haven't been here, right? And so it's very interesting, that idea of like, if I eliminate obstacles, which also could include locational changes for yourself, or it could be, oh, I used to have 10 friends, now I have like 1. Yeah, maybe those 9 other people are sucking you dry when it comes to your energy. Maybe all that they do is come to you when they have a problem, but refuse to even just stop by and just say, hey, how are you? How is your day going? Right? Like when people refuse to feed into you, but they expect for you to feed into them, red flag alert. These are vampires, and we have to say no to vampires. I mean, I understand. I love Vampire Diaries, love vampires. Hello, Twilight, but no, literally, you have no time and not enough energy to be feeding into others who refuse to feed into you. So keep that in mind. So eliminating obstacles could be people, could be circumstances, could be habits, could be nutritional, right? Are there certain things that you're doing by eating or not drinking enough that's not allowing you to prosper and thrive in your life? Eliminate, change, right? That's all up to you. You just have to do it. So people, circumstance, habits, and really the mindset, right? That general arc of I'm always going to do negative as opposed to positive. Nope, flip the script. Now, third, keep learning. So this is critical, because we don't know what we don't know. Every time you come on here, every time you hear me on here, you're most likely going to hear me say that a lot of times, because the amount of information that we need to learn to grow as people, as women, as wives, as spouses, as entrepreneurs, as content creators, as educators, as mothers, as parents, right? Like the leveling up, the leveling up that's necessary is critical. So we have to keep learning. So like I said, I asked, make sure you've learned something new from this conversation. And if not, tell me so that I can make sure that I'm feeding into you what you need, because you have to constantly be learning something new. Multiple things, really. If you're gangster, you're learning multiple things every day. You're meeting multiple people and you're learning multiple things. It's just like you killing the game. And then, so those are the top 3 things: honesty, eliminate obstacles, and then keep learning. Now we get to 4th point, which is gravitate towards the positivity. So choosing to see the positivity, not just acknowledging it, but choosing it. I choose it, I choose it, I choose it. It is a choice, guys. Positivity and negativity are choices we make. Stop acting like it's happening to you. Like Tony Robbins taught us years ago, life is not happening to you, it's happening for you. So like, get on that train and understand that every decision you're making has consequence, good, bad, indifferent. But either way, it's a choice. It's a choice to see positivity. It's a choice to wake up and say your affirmations for the day. It's a choice to feed into people who are feeding into you. It's a choice to smile instead of crying. It's a choice to wake up and say, I can do this. It's a choice to start a business. It's a choice to write a book. It's a choice to change your job, to move. All of these are choices. Make the decisions that will make you the happiest. You don't have a long time here. So make the most of this time. Next is to stop using excuses. So in similar to eliminate obstacles, what do people do, right? Oh, I can't do this because Oh, right. And Crystal says I had to cut off people real quick. People will not misbehave in my life. 100%, Crystal, 100%. You have to have a very tight network because most people are haters. Most people are negative, nasty vampires. It's so unfortunate too, because it's a symptom of the trauma that they've experienced, right? Because how people behave is really a reflection of themselves, not you. So obviously when you are dealing with negative, nasty people, it's just a reflection of how sad they are and all the trauma and ridiculousness going on in their life. So it's a pity, right? I'm just like, oh, I'm going to pray for you because you need prayer. But at the end of the day, we gotta move forward. Your affirmation, Crystal says on Facebook, is I'm fierce and fabulous. Girl, preach, listen. Yes, you are. She is fabulous. Share your website, love. She is an excellent coach herself. She does a really wonderful work in the pageantry world. I've worked with her. She's fantastic. Share your info in the comments, please. Thank you. So stop using excuses. The I can only, right? Nope. Again, if everything is a choice, then are excuses a choice? Yes, excuses are a choice every single time you use them, every single time you decide to say them. And so please, please, please make sure you stop so that you can, again, stay on that honesty journey with yourself, right? Because you can't lie to yourself. You can lie to others, but you need to not lie to yourself. Being honest with yourself, being honest with the obstacles that you have to face to be on this journey of nope, no more stinking thinking, no more negative naysaying for me, none of that. I'm not going to stop to use an excuse today. I am going to choose to see the positivity within me and around me, right? Those types of things. And then the last tip is easy. I mean, I say it's easy, but it's hard to get there, but it's I think some of the other things are a little bit more challenging. This one is just believing in yourself, because again, another great choice, one of the greatest choices you'll ever make in your life, because half the battle in any single thing you do is believing in yourself. Half the battle. That's literally, guys, 50% of just going somewhere in a business, in your career, in your romantic life, in anything you do, just believe in yourself. And then you can move forward. But people really struggle with that first half. And it's heartbreaking because it creates years and years of regret. It creates years and years of people in anguish and pain for no reason. It's self-inflicted. It's really the wildest thing to me. But if you, by watching this, can say, I can believe in myself, then what can you do? Then you can believe in your ability to change your life. And then what does that happen from that? Then you can create that action plan. You can be honest with yourself. You can eliminate the obstacles. You can learn something new about your confidence, about what's going to help you stay resilient in this journey. You can gravitate towards positivity. You can choose the positive choices and the positive outlook. You can stop using excuses and continue to believe in yourself. So those are the 6 steps, guys. So now my last words of wisdom, that as we kind of wind this conversation down, and thank you, Crystal, crystalclearpageantry.com. Woohoo! Love it. Is the following 3 tips. Trust the process. So a lot of times we start things and we know, right, especially as women, so many initiatives that we're running simultaneously, because who runs the world? We run the world. Thank you. And there's a lot on our plates, ladies and gentlemen. There's a lot that we're doing. And we sometimes, if we don't see immediate results, we give up or we doubt ourselves. We go down the spiraling. Nope. We have to trust the process. We have to trust in our ability to make the change for our stinking thinking. Each and every moment, each and every hour, each and every day, each and every week, each and every month, right? Trust the process. This is a journey, not a destination. So it's going to take time. It's really going to take time. You have to trust the process. Next, be kind to yourself. I say this a lot in my programs because as a Virgo, we are prickly, but we can also be what? We can also be very harsh. And if people think Virgos are harsh to others, try being in their mind. I could never be harsher to anyone else than I could be to myself. The worst, it could be the worst critic, right? You can be your best advocate or your worst enemy. A lot of human beings do that, but like as a Virgo, it's like really intensified. And for me, I've really, for this year, 2020, especially with everything happening and having to pivot. Thank you, Crystal. I appreciate it. You have to be kind to yourself. Guys, we're in a global pandemic, which means what? A lot of our businesses are operating differently. Some people haven't even continued in their business, right? And sometimes you have to take a step back or you have to pivot and you have to change. It's okay. You've got to be kind to yourself. This whole new world that we're living in is a whole new world, literally. So you're going to have to relearn, take approach how you move forward with things. Please be kind to yourself, because it's going to be much easier than trying to do this while shaming yourself, while being frustrated by having expectations that don't match the outcomes that you want, because you refuse to be patient. You refuse to be kind to yourself. You refuse to get the help that you need. Be kind to yourself. Be your number one advocate. And then, of course, be proud of yourself. Every time you are able to switch that negative stinking thinking into a positive thought, every single time, yes, every single time, is such an amazing victory. You're doing so well. I need you to know that, because there's people who literally are living 70, 80, 90, 100 years of just pure negative horribleness. It's contributing to the world that we live in. It's awful. It's just awful. Every time you flip and you make that change, a blessing. You are a blessing. You're the change that the world needs to see. You need to document it. You need to sing from rooftops and share it and teach other people what you're doing. Bring the people, the closest ones that you know will follow your kind of recommendations. Bring them along on this journey so that we have kind of a momentum moving forward of positive changes and changing that stinking thinking. So trust the process. Be kind to yourself. Be proud of yourself every single time you do this. All right. So with that, that's pretty much what I wanted to share for today. If you want to connect with me, again, just to recap, I'm a coach, I'm a speaker, I'm a content creator. Go to dressingroom8.com. You can subscribe to the blog. You can subscribe to the monthly newsletter. I send one a month. It's not too overwhelming, guys. And then, of course, you get all access to the content there, as well as free videos. And then also my events calendar when you want to see Tasha again, because who doesn't want to have more of these conversations? Hello. So let's do this, guys. All right. So it's been a pleasure. Thank you, Crystal. Thank you, Trinette, for being here and being so talkative on Facebook. I adore you both. You're amazing. Share this out with anyone that you feel would benefit from this conversation. And again, if you're like, I need to talk to you one-on-one, free, guys. There's like literally no obstacle there. I don't know what else I could do other than free. Free. Go to dressingroom8.com, set up a scheduled time with me to speak, and I'm all yours, and we can do this, guys. So with that, it's been fun. It's been real. Change your stinking thinking immediately. You can do this. All righty. Have a blessed, productive, wonderful, amazing day. Bye.